Hi there, Vibe Gardeners. With 95, this is the 95th video here. 125 shorts, over 500 subscribers. We're coming up with a 1-year anniversary episode right now, right here. Let's go. All right, guys, so we're actually a little bit early here. We're about 3 days away from the 1-year anniversary of my channel going live. And the reason why we're not releasing on the day is that it's actually Memorial Day this year, United States, so it's actually a federal holiday, and also everyone's taking off. I'm not working. That's just the fact of the matter. And so I don't know if I ever actually explained to you guys why I started the channel, and I really owe that to the public here. In that I started the channel because I wanted to document. I'm starting my second year, how I learned to garden and make it a public knowledge for everyone, and also for myself to document my journey being a gardener here. And it's been a lot of fun. And yeah, so that's kind of like why it got started. And from a humble beginning of my first marigold in containers tutorial to just the last one where we're just talking about the experiment with the tomatoes, trying to make a thicker stem. It's been quite the year. So in this episode, I kind of want to I'm going to be reading a bit off my Chromebook here, which there's a lot of content I want to go over. So definitely I want to start off by saying that I want to talk about how my content evolved, the type of content over time. We also want to talk about my proudest moments, or actually the proudest contents on my channel. And basically what I plan to do that's kind of new moving forward, which is not much, but I kind of want to go over that a little bit. And just in case you guys are wondering, I'm going to go into a little bit behind the scene and how I make these videos, so you kind of get an idea of what's going on. Another little disclaimer is that I'm not going to talk much about my shorts, in that the shorts are really my way of doing micro updates for my crew to see live from my point of view how things are going in my garden or in my basement with hydroponics, to kind of give you guys a little micro updates. And also for some of my experiments, I want to give you guys a little bit shorter update if it's not worth the whole entire episode. And but it's really not the meat of my channel. My channel is really dedicated toward long form videos like what you're watching right now. So with that said, guys, here we go into sort of a 1-year sort of reflection here. So like I said, the plan here is I want to go over sort of the first topic of the evolving content types my channel has developed. When I first started out, I really didn't have an idea of what I want to actually document. And it was then that I really wanted to plant marigolds for the first time. I've actually not really planted flowers much in my first year. So my first year, I only had one raised bed and one in-ground bed. It wasn't much to speak of. And I was really trying to explore out on what I want to do. So you guys saw from my season planning video, it has expanded quite a bit the past year. And this year, it's a little bit less generous on expansion, but it really shows the kind of growth I had last season. And a lot of it was documented on this channel, which is really nice. So obviously, I started with a marigold video and kind of just want to show you guys how I learned that topic. And I really started slow because I wasn't very proficient in video making production. When I go into the behind the scenes, you will see some of the struggles I've had making videos at first. So I started rather slow in my outdoor gardening. And then I noticed that as I'll talk about in my proud contents section, I noticed later on that I'm getting quite a bit of international traffic. So I actually started to do subtitles for my video, knowing that I talk fast. I've worked with a lot of international students here at University of Michigan, and I've been told that I talk fast. Actually, one of them told me, "Jasper, you talk fast. I accept your challenge." So I know I talk fast. And I don't want that to be a barrier for people to understand what I'm saying. So that's why I made subtitles, to be able to help you follow me without having to slow down too much. And I really drifted also towards experiments that feeds my curiosity, like the moonshot experiment, the cucumbers, and then the garlic ones. And those are really, really fun experiments for me. in that I want to learn and get really good at growing certain crops, and that's how I started doing that. And then, of course, as the weather got colder, the winter came, and I want to keep growing indoors. And hydroponics was something I kind of dove into because I found this, starter 1 gallon hydroponic systems at, I think, Ross or Burlington, one of them. And I kind of got started. I'm like, you know what? This is actually kind of fun. And of course, the summer I took a break getting the garden going outside. But when the weather got cold, I'm like, you know what? We're going to get really good at this. And that's what we did. You guys saw the results, the crops. I mean, we got really good at hydroponics. So, and then the other thing with hydroponics that really started was it helped me get the energy and the desire to build entire courses, which is something that I think YouTube is fairly new at it, that you do. And I feel like as in more of an educational channel, I really want to get into it. So obviously I built 2 courses so far. I got the Seed Starting 101 and the hydroponics, which I'm really proud of. And another thing that I really got into was because being a Christian of faith, I really have a lot of values that I have. And a lot of that includes building your community as well as really doing things for a cause. So I dove into that with my gardening for a cause, which has become a theme for me, as well as really looking to the community aspect of gardening and what you can do to really impact the people around you. So that's kind of like the content how it evolved. And the truth here is that because I feel that I'm really accountable to you guys, my audience, for making this content good and accurate, I actually got much faster, much better, much faster at gardening than I ever would have imagined I would become. So you guys, thank you for watching because you guys encouraged me and helped me accountable to deliver actually really good content and actually for me to really get what I'm doing correct. And it really paid off. It was a great harvest last year. So thank you, crew. You've really been there for me. And also, a lot of this was also teaching myself how to use AI responsibly to get gardening correct. Because when I had to make sure that I'm delivering the right responsible information to you guys, I got to hold AI accountable for what it's been telling me. Because I use AI a lot to help me plan for my content. And yeah, so that really helped me with gardening and also for my career. So thank you guys. I couldn't have done it without your encouragement. Thank you so much. So now that you kind of seen how this channel has basically had the content type change and everything throughout time, I think I'm going to talk a little bit about some of my proudest moments or contents here. And really, obviously, courses are the main thing, but I'm going to go into a little bit of 5 episodes that really I felt like were defining moments for my channel, in chronological order. So the first one that really was a defining moment for me was my 4th episode, which is the Plant Nutrition 101. I dove deep into what NPK means and how plant really responds to nutrition and how that all works out. And that was a massive episode for me because not only is it still to this day one of my best explanations on this channel, it was also a foundational topic in this channel in that it really helped me understand and get into horticulture, because without this content, I really wouldn't be able to understand a lot of what I'm actually reading, especially when I got into the academic side of horticulture, of how to get plants growing properly. This stuff was incredibly important for me to understand how things work. So to this day, it's still one of the most foundational and important episodes in my channel, even though it's only the 4th ever episode. Out of 95, you guys are the 95th one you guys are watching here. I still expect it to go on in the future as well because I can't stop referencing it, right? And one of my more fun, proud moments was the Eggplant King episode, which is my episode 12. That one was actually hilarious. It was my first internationally spiked video. And the first time I saw my view go past 60 views without family and friends giving me my beginner's boost. And that was fun seeing a lot of my Indian audience watching that video. And that's when I realized that I need to subtitle my work because I talk fast. And I want to keep you guys engaged, understanding what I've done, and I'm not losing you guys. So it basically became that moment where I started to do my subtitling. And it also was actually the beginning of a massive harvest. At the end of the season, 96 eggplants, approximately over 190 pounds of harvest. I mean, it is phenomenal. It exceeded every single expectation I had of getting it done correctly. So that was actually a really fun video. And then the next one was the one that was a surprising one. It's episode 16 was my rosemary propagation video, the starting one, not the conclusion. And it actually to this day became my most cinematically beautiful episode. The lighting, the way the lighting hit the vase, creating that refraction onto my beautiful oak wood DIY dining table I made. It really showed the texture of the wood and then that beautiful sunlight reflecting off. And it was just a beautiful episode. I mean, like even the photo I took for the thumbnail, like it really kind of came together as a beautiful episode. I really like that one. And again, it's one of my evergreen episodes where keep getting views throughout the history of my channel since its upload. And then of course the next one, episode 17, was grow lights. That one is my first evergreen episode in that I'm averaging 10 to 20 views a day on it, which for a channel my size, I mean, that's a pretty big deal. And it really showed quite a bit about how I'm actually addressing desire for information that people has. And it really gave my identity as Inform Edition its real leg to show you guys what we can produce here with good research. And of course, the latest one is a series of 8 episodes, starting with episode 22, my garlic and container experiment. That is a 7-month experiment. It really showed perseverance. Where I was starting from the beginning, I really want to get good at garlic, understand garlic. And that really, it was a very deep dive into how garlic and botanically actually worked, like physiologically and biologically and everything. It was such a deep dive. I mean, it was a fantastic show of perseverance on my part, I believe, and show you guys that I'm not afraid to do long-running experiments to really show the impact on crop as the environment, well, in this case, stay the same and confuse the heck out of those garlic. So yeah, that was actually a very proud moment. So of course, I mean, besides the actual videos, courses were the big proud moments here. And Hydroponics 101, I will have to admit, it is probably the most un-101 course you can get. It's almost like an undergrad course that you can get for your degree. I mean, it's probably more like a 200 level course. I mean, it is deep. And I kind of apologize for calling it 101 because looking back, maybe I shouldn't apologize. I think I had a lot of audience who liked it, but it was very dense. It took a lot of time, and it really made me very good at hydroponics, at least in my own personal opinion. And it's really, yeah, I mean, the other fun effect of hydroponics 101 is made later on with soil growing feel really dang easy because hydroponic is like expert hard level when it comes to the science and technique of getting plants to survive. So it really kind of built a foundation for me to become better at growing things in soil. So that was kind of fun. And Seed Starting 101 came right after it. And that course really is building off of Hydroponics 101 in that I really understood how plant actually worked. I was able to develop a system understanding of how germination works, in that you need air, water, and temperature to really get almost all seeds going. Now, sometimes really there is, light for some of them, but really it kind of made things simple. And I kind of showed off all different style of germination, which really helped me get some fantastic results with my germination. That really, I mean, it really helped out with me with how things worked. It also forced me to plan my season, which is a big deal in that this season I walked in and I was planned. And I was definitely prepared. And I feel like I actually am tackling the season with a lot more understanding what I'm doing. So it really helped out. So yeah, I really hope you guys also enjoy my content because I'm very proud of what I gave you guys. So this is a very short section. I want to talk a little bit about what I want to try next year, the new stuff coming up. And really, the one thing that for sure that I really want to do is I want to get into the cooking section a little more. Because one of the things that I think people don't realize is the reason why I got into gardening in the first place is that I'm a cook first. And the gardening is actually food, eating, and cooking inspired. In that I love food, I love cooking, and the flavor drives me to really try to produce the best crops. And that's how I kind of got started. So I kind of want to go back to the root of why I started gardening. I want to show you guys some of how I cook things, use the things I harvest, and really make delicious dishes. So I'm going to dive into that. But honestly, I don't really have a lot of real plans here in that I make content here. I don't really make money here, right? I mean, I'm very far from monetization, even with 500 subscribers and all these videos and stuff like that. Like the view hours are just not enough. I'm not making money. I'm not doing Patreon because at the end of the day, I'm doing this channel to be sustainable, to be able to, as a hobby, show you guys how I garden, and I'm going to show you guys a little bit how I cook. So I really don't think I can sustain the pressure of being able to take your request and basically have your hard-earned money being spent on me to be able to produce content I may or may not enjoy. I mean, I'll be honest, what you enjoy may not be what I enjoy. And I want to be real to you guys and be a real human on who I am and what I actually enjoy. So, I hope you guys like what I do. But at the end of the day, please don't be insulted. I'm just another human being, right? So I hope you guys will enjoy the new content I'll be creating this year. All right, so now the final section I'm kind of getting into is a little bit behind the scenes of how I produce my video. So to kind of give you guys an idea of the kind of production here, in that this is a very much geared towards sustainability and being able to not interrupt my normal life and work. In that it only takes me about 1.5 to 2 hours to go from filming to actually publishing on YouTube. And yes, it does sometimes take many days, if not weeks, for me to get research prepared to be able to present something to you guys. But in the actuality here is that because of, if you guys saw my State of the Vibe 2025, I kind of went over my background in that I actually am professionally trained to make content, edit video, the technical aspect of getting a video done. But the reality is that in the beginning, as you guys probably saw, I'm still learning to perform in front of the camera because I've only ever done anything behind the camera. Now that I'm in front of it, I'm actually learning to deliver and understand how to really prepare a presentation to you guys. So hopefully I've been getting better throughout the year here. But really, like the actual technical side, I'm pretty proficient. I can get everything done in under 2 hours, typically. Now, granted, some episodes are longer, like for example, starting hydroponics for spinach. That one took me multi-days to film, and it was a 30-minute, more than 30 minutes marathon episode. So that obviously took longer, but most episodes take me not that long to produce. So the other thing is the equipment here, in that when I first started, I bought a used, new to me camcorder from 2013, a Canon one. And you will see the difference in the quality of the video in the beginning versus now. It was a very good camcorder, but the problem is I realized that with all that money we're spending on smartphones nowadays, with my Google Pixel 9 here I'm filming right now, is that the cost of the camera, the over $1,000 camera a lot of times, I mean, of course, mine's a little cheaper than that, I think. They're throwing that into getting the sensor and the digital camera stuff going, which really is brought on this advent of this creator boom like me, in that the entry to the barrier to entry is actually lowered by being able to have just a smartphone that can record at a decent level, because YouTube over the internet isn't that very much rich in pixels in resolution, in that it has to be streamed real time over the internet. So that's what really helped, in that I moved to my cell phone. And so then also for the other equipment, like for example, the mic, tripod, lighting and stuff, a lot of those gears I started with a cheap brand that I'm not gonna, I'm gonna link all my products below that I'm using. Also I just started an Amazon storefront to show you guys the stuff I use. So with those things, I started with cheap stuff, and it had mixed results, right? Using Amazon Basic tripod, it was good, but it really wasn't the most easy to use. So throughout the time, I upgraded my gears. And like I said, I'm really just sinking money into this because I'm not getting paid. I'm not monetizing on these videos. It's my money that I'm just enjoying here, putting into this equipment to make this episode work. And so a lot of them made a lot of impact. Like getting that tripod going, it basically made it so that when wind comes, it's not shaking the whole entire camera, which is a big deal. Like, I mean, it's fantastic. And by the way, Amazon Basic tripod didn't do that. It was another cell phone tripod I used, and it was wobbly. Maybe I'll use it indoors, but like having this newer brand that I found is really good in that it just does not wobble. It also has a little bit of level on there for me to see if its things are leveled. And also the big thing was I upgraded to this definitely not cheap wireless microphone. But I started with the cheap kind, but then it would just cut in and out. So a lot of times, like my using tap water for hydroponics, where I was setting up my filter, the first half, the audio was terrible because what happened was I didn't realize the mic cut out the connection, and it really made me tense, not realizing if my video was good or not. But with this new mic here, that's like 3 times more expensive or more. This thing, I know when I connected it, this thing is flawless. It's fantastic. And I realized too that I'm not talking so loud. I'm talking more calm. And also I'm more confident in my delivery. And it makes me actually perform better. And that was actually one of those nice little things I stumbled across. And the fun thing too is that lighting indoors is extremely hard. That's actually one of the things that happened when I moved indoors with my filming. Is that it's an absolute challenge. When you have grow lights, it's well over 150 watts of LED. It is an absolute technical challenge to be able to get lighting that's going to be able to outcompete that kind of light and get even exposure so that my face is not completely dark. And so yeah, like finding the right lighting, which I'll link below, those lights absolutely made a big difference to make the indoor stuff even possible to be filmed. So yeah, the equipment was a big deal. So the other interesting thing was I started with DaVinci Resolve from Black Magic Studio for editing my video. Because I come from a professional video editing background, and that's what really DaVinci Resolve is designed for. It's designed for Hollywood studios and be able to basically layer on effects. I mean, it is very close to back then I was using Final Cut Pro and Premiere Combustion. I even used Avid and and what's called Boris effects and all those kind of things back in the days with beta films. So yeah, I really used a lot of those professional tools. So going to DaVinci Resolve was easy for me. But one of the problems that happened was because I'm an AMD line of computer builders, it didn't really work well with it. There's a lot of NVIDIA, Intel type of optimizations that would make things crash, very unstable. I can't even do color correction at one point because I didn't have the right graphic card. So that's why I moved on to, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correct, Kden Live or KDEN Live. It's an open source video editing software. And it is absolutely free. I can get access to the source code if I want to. And it was actually easier because it's designed for simple content creators like me. It's not meant for layering of super effects. And because it was simply built, it can handle AMD quite well. So there's no crashes. I can do all the stuff I want to do, like color correction. If I need to do any of the leveling and getting contrast better, I can fix a lot of things in post I wasn't able to before. But by now, because of DaVinci Resolve, I've already gotten to the point where I am actually not really doing things that would bring problem later on. I'm actually fixing it before I go into the editing portion. And so I'm not doing what the professionals call fixing in post, which is something you never want to do because it's very expensive. And so yeah, so that really changed. And then also just kind of like software, it's really simple, all open source free software. I'm using GIMP for image, Inkscape for making diagrams. I'm using Audacity very rarely if I need to fix audio. And so yeah, it's a very simple stack. I kept it simple so that I can make it, sustainable for my life. All right, crew. So this is kind of like a little summary of kind of what happened last year. A little bit of what you guys seen as the channel evolved. We also dived into a little bit of how things are happening behind the scene. And now you also kind of understand what I'm proud of this past year, and also kind of what I'm planning on next year. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the channel. Please let me know how you feel about everything. Please comment below. And as always, guys, subscribe as we've got another mini years coming on. And I really want to bring you guys along with it. All right, guys? So subscribe, keep gardening, and keep vibing. Let's go.